What exactly is a documentary? It is a form of entertainment that enacts a story by sound and a sequence of images giving the illusion of continuous movement. I talked to television students about what makes up a documentary. I received similar responses, and a few of the students were even working on their own documentaries. They told me about different things that should be included into the different shots, as well as told me what some of the more difficult aspects are.
What do you think is the impact of documentaries?
Documentaries are very important to the film industry because they can be used as learning tools. If you have a certain topic that you want to make a film about, and you could potentially educate a large audience about that topic. Documentaries usually implement a few different sources, like you'll have your interviews with the people you're talking to, and you have the B-roll that will run over it. B-roll is usually used as a way to supplement what you're talking about, whether it's someone doing something outside, you have the shot of that activity that they're doing. It usually just relates to the topic that you're talking about. Documentaries can be both entertaining and informative at the same time. For example, Michael Moore's documentary Fahrenheit 9/11 was informing you about all the information about the war, but at the same time it's very satirical and making fun of the administration.
Alright, so I'm a TV student, and what we're doing is, for a class, we're all doing our own versions of small documentaries. Each of us picked our own topic, a topic that we're interested in, and from there we tell a story almost, and not necessarily report as like a news broadcaster, but just showing people different things that are out there, because there's so many things you can just make a documentary about. It doesn't have to be about, say, I don't know, what's the hot topic in the news. Mine, for example, I'm doing a documentary about dog obedience. Not many people know much about it. They do know that, there are dog shows on TV every once in a while, but they don't really know, what exactly goes into it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to show people through stuff that I do, because I'm actually a dog trainer. Well, actually, not a dog trainer, but I'm in the process of becoming a dog trainer, and what I want to do is I want to show people exactly, what it's like and what people go through, and, just different places they go and things they do day to day, just to become more in tune with your animal and start becoming more obedient for that matter. Now when it comes to filming documentaries, it's actually not that difficult. The only thing that you need to actually focus on is making sure you get enough what's called B-roll, and that's footage of your story that you can just show other people as you're telling it. For example, say if you're doing a mini documentary about a college student starting his freshman year of school, what you can do is you can go around and interview students on campus, and from there you can get different shots of different locations on campus, maybe places that people hang out, or cafeteria or dorm rooms, or any of the buildings around campus that you can pretty much find people around.
Working in the TV studio, I see a lot going on with documentaries. I mean, there's the documentary film class, there's people making short documentaries, and the number one thing that I noticed being the biggest problem for people making documentaries is topic selection. You can't make a good documentary if you aren't interested in your topic, because then you're not going to want to go out and you're not going to want to get that footage. The other thing is some topics are plausible and some topics aren't plausible, like the Liberia documentary that's going on right now. It's hard to get a lot of footage for it. It's hard to get a lot of interviews. It's hard to get connections. One thing is there's not a lot of stuff in the public domain that's of legal use, because it's a pretty new, the Liberian Civil War, it's a pretty new topic, so there's not too much that you can get for B-roll and stuff like that. But then it's not that close to here, our location, that you can get a lot of interviews. I know they have 2 people, and that goes back to making connections. You need to make a lot of connections in order to make a good documentary. You need to constantly be contacting people. Most of the work in a documentary is getting those connections, not even the film portion. You need to get people to talk to. You need to get really good people to talk to that will give you good information about the topic, and they need to be credible. So that's what I find is the biggest problem about documentaries.
So if a documentary is done properly, it is vital to the film industry.